The Haitian Revolutions were a series of revolts between the slaves and the upper class, which officially began in 1791 and ended in 1804. There were four main groups in Saint-Domingue, which is what we now call Haiti. The white planters, also known as Grands Blancs, meaning big whites, who owned plantations, the wealthy free people of color, who often worked in the military, the poor whites, also known as Petits Blancs, translating to small whites, and finally, the slaves, who made up 90% of the population. This disparity and lack of equity between the groups would later cause great tensions. In May of 1791, the National Assembly decided to grant full French citizenship to all free wealthy people of color, but the Petits Blancs were not fond of the idea, since they wanted the advantage over the people of color. This led to social upheaval between the groups. In August 1791, the tension of elites versus masses caused a huge slave revolt to break out, led by Toussaint, who trained the slaves, in this case the masses, to become stronger and fight the upper class, the elites, who had power. The Spanish were also supporting the slaves. Why? Because they wanted to make the French weaker and saw the slave revolts as an effective way to harm the French. Therefore, when the British decided to attack Saint-Domingue as well in October 1793, the French decided to officially free the slaves to avoid having to go to war with the Spanish, the British, and all of the slaves at the same time. Soon the slaves controlled 1/3 of Saint-Domingue under the leadership of Toussaint, and although 100,000 out of 500,000 blacks and more than half of the whites were killed, it chased off almost all of the British and French forces. This earned the slaves of Saint-Domingue freedom and citizenship, but not for long. Saint-Domingue was still considered as part of France and was under the control of Napoleon Bonaparte, the ruler of France at the time. Napoleon wanted money and looked to France's most valuable colony, Saint-Domingue, but to maximize profits, he decided to reintroduce slavery into Saint-Domingue. This sparked war between the slaves and the French once again. Disease like yellow fever broke out during that time, eliminating thousands of French soldiers. This greatly assisted the slaves in eventually winning the war. And on 1st January 1804, Saint-Domingue was declared as the second free and independent nation-state in the Americas, and was renamed to Haiti with significantly less slavery than before. The Haitian Revolutions are very important even today, as they show how even the petty slaves were able to stand up for the idea that nobody should be slaves, revolutionizing the world and inspiring a large number of people.
Created using Powtoon.